All right, impromptu stream right now. Just gonna rattle off this. We're set a world record for fastest time to get in these drafts. But this contest was too good to ignore. Love it. Just fully reiterate Easy's comments here that this is a really good contest. I love the three max structure. I love the 2 out of 12, 1 out of 5, 1 out of 5. Did the first one as a cardio club. I know originally we said we were going to do some weekly winners stuff today, but just scheduling wise didn't really work out. And fully admittedly, I'm in full poker bro grind mode right now. I've been playing the Scoop series on Poker Stars, and we've been trying to balance that out between Nez's real life schedule and this sort of thing. And today it was just kind of like, oh, we only got 2-game NBA, we only got 2-game MLB. We'll come back and do something tomorrow, kind of thing. But then they dropped this contest right in our lap, and I just busted out of the 5-card PLO event and busted out of the mid-tier progressive knockout event. And I was just like, well, I don't have another event until 2:30 my time. So may as well just hop in here and rip some drafts with my friends on the internet. I shared this one on the interwebs to try and get a little engagement farming going. I thought it was a decent little draft there, but let's just jump in and do 2 at once here, and then we can do this together, and then everybody can rip off and watch ship chasing, watch them talk a little ball there. So we got 9 spots in the first pug there, and I imagine we're going to have something similar in the second one here. So if you feel so inclined, come on, jump on in. I don't know if you guys can see that in the bottom corner here. I was messing around with Brick's caddy and just trying to get that thing to work. A tall task for a boomer ass like myself. But we got 5 more spots there. But yeah, I don't know. It looks pretty cool. Seems extremely helpful, especially when you're multi-tabling here and you're gonna try and balance out. Because I've just been looking at on the side. I've just been looking at the graphic of like the weeks and then trying to like drag and drop and keep it like that. And it's quite hard to do. So it's gonna be really nice to have an overlay that shows me all the week correlations there. Sup to Nick, sup to Brad, Run Good Rick, what's up? Cheese Ball, Bindles. If you guys didn't check it out, Nez was on with him last night. Had some really good macro conversation about how Nez and I got into this BadgeBros stuff, and talked about the future of kind of like best ball, and then they ripped a draft with sunglasses on. Pretty cool stuff. Love to see that. Yeah, I've been dabbling a little bit in the hoops so far. Not a crazy amount. I think I only got 5 to 10 under my belt. But yeah, I really like the slate again. Much similar to last time out there, where I think like if you are a ball knower and you know how these matchups are going to play out, and especially the defensive assignment stuff, and you watched game 1, I think there's a nice edge comparative to where ADP's at, or where projection is at on the site, because I think Nemhard is a screaming value again right now. We were pretty we were pretty on it with some of our calls from the previous show. It didn't manifest into any big wins or anything, but I don't know. We still came 5th in MLB last night, so that was pretty good. Yeah, Mike's saying that Bindle stole my guy Nez. I know, man. That's why I gotta do these impromptu streams, man, to keep the brand alive here. All right, Meatwad's in it. Love it. Okay, so both of these have filled up here. We got Turbotron in here. Who else we got in here? Looks like I rolled the 108. G-Strat's in here. Chris is in here. Cheeseball's in here. A little bit of the who's who. Yeah, let's do this, man. I got legendary upside ranks in here right now. I'm going to go one smaller on the zoom in here. All right. You guys think it's better to draft from the active tab and have like this dead space on the right-hand side? Or do you think I should try and bounce back and forth at the top in 2 separate tabs? Let me know what you guys think. Brees Hall goes ahead there, so that's kind of surprising. I'd go ahead and take Bijan here, even though I imagine it'll be a piss boy room. Chris is in this one as well. Christian McCaffrey at the 101. Go ahead, take CeeDee Lamb next there. All right, cool. We could do something fun with CeeDee Lamb from this side of the board that I'm not sure a ton of people are doing because they think they're forfeiting value. But what if we just go ahead and add Jalen Hurts and Devonta Smith on that 2-3 turn? There you go. Oh, Charles is in here too. Cheese 24 Skull. Love it. Damn, Best Ball Viper missed it. Hate to see it, man. Tough puck game last night for my man's Rangers. Okay, let's do. Okay, let's try this. Let's see if I'm smart enough to bounce back and forth between the two. That one says 15 picks away. So this one, there we go. Let's get the vibes up here. I'm a bachelor for the weekend, guys. That's why I've just been playing poker, hanging out, and doing this sort of thing. Okay, we could do the double elite running back start here with Bijan, or we can go ahead and do Devonta Adams or Deebo Samuel. Nez loves the Deebo Samuel stuff. He thinks there's multiple outs with it. Let's do the Adams one. We're going to end up with our fair share of Devonta. I mean, our fair share of Deebo just by drafting with Nez. AJ Brown positive regression could hit huge. Yeah, man. Absolutely. Okay. I got this one. The one complaint that I will always have about the multi-tabling, and we talk about this all the time, but back in the day when we were multi-tabling here, is it'll tell you the picks remaining at the top of the tab. You guys can't see it right now, but if I remove the overlay for half a second, you could see what I'm dealing with up here. And, I'll have the 10 picks until next up. So I know that it's 12 picks, but it's not actually, because I have the draft board pulled up on this one. And now I'm actually only like 8 picks away. So that's how I end up inevitably getting jumped at one of these points in time, is I'll get caught with the draft board up on one of them and not the other one. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see if I can navigate these waters. Let's get a little tunage on here. I think tomorrow we'll do the NBA 2-game slate. It feels like NBA 2-game slates from here on out until the finals, of course. And then the baseball slate's considerably better because today was just like daytime diamond with I don't know, Paul Skeens is pitching right now, so that's at least kind of fun. That's probably the real reason why Nez didn't want to run a show. He's watching Skeens right now for sure. Okay, 5 until we're up over here. This was the CeeDee Lamb team. I think I might do it, guys. Time box contest. We'll see what falls back to us. I think I might go ahead and flip the board on that one. Do a little scroll the F down in the second round. All right. Ooh, interesting. Okay. No hoops tomorrow unless they overlap games, which they haven't so far. Okay, good shout. That's actually a good shout. Thank you, Brad. So maybe we do hit the reset on that weekly winners thing. I really want to do a weekly winners show because we love the format and whatnot, but just admittedly, I'm a little bit behind on some of that knowledge, and I want to be like well versed before we do a show like that. And I've just been grinding these tournaments. All right, we got the Bijan Devonta Adams start here. Pat Carrane is telling us to take Travis Kelce. Michael Pittman via ADP. You guys know my affinity with Cooper Kupp. No obvious correlations smacking me in the face right now. Let's do the DK Metcalf stuff. Nez was saying that he wants to get over on. Oh, we're back up on the clock here. Okay, so Achane falls to us. Devonta Adams falls to us. But we're going to have some fun here. Let's flip the board. Who else is flipping the board in a time box contest from this side? We're going to stack up that week 17. You can't tell me that just going out of your way to take Devonta Smith over, maybe it's bad versus Adams, but taking him over like HN and this tier, you can't tell me it's that bad. So let's go ahead and do that. Boom. Little Philly Dallas, week 17, Galbrain from the left side of the board. Who else is doing it? Who else is doing it? We are GM paid. GM. Appreciate you guys coming out on short notice here. I'm gonna put on some tunage just for my own sanity, so I don't have to listen to myself too much. What do you guys think? This one's called Date. Nah, too sleepy, man. Oh. Okay. Bongo drum or something? What is it? Walk at a baseline. Take that thing for a walk, young man. Take that thing for a walk. They were talking about the future of streaming on Bindle's stream last night, and how like there's going to be a lot of overlap in this space, and a lot of people kind of like doing the same thing. You get really creative. Cup comes back to us. We know how much I like Cup. I keep drafting Cup. I have an affinity with the olds. No direct correlation with that. The Atlanta stuff, Washington, Vegas. Now let's do it. Let's just take a little bit of... We're value hounded in one draft, and we're flipping the board in another. Okay, getting that Devon Achan fall to 29 there. Iron not slipping much in these time box contests. 21 there. I think he went 21 in my first one. Fell to 26 in this one, so a little bit of slippage. That third round Achan could age so well. The guy we were taking in the second round of those big boards, right? Okay. I gotta keep boxing. I gotta keep closing out these windows. I make sure I don't miss picks. I know it's not as fun a viewing experience when I'm like jumping back and forth, but I'll try and try and yeah. Lo-fi jazz, baby. Let's go. Plus a freestyle. Chris, I'm not sure I got that game, dude. Yeah, TA's correct here, man. No weekly winners. I can't watch you draft and talk about Taysom Hill over and over again. Those days are dead, man. Those days are dead when they moved him to the QB. But I mean, can we admit, like, people don't like to admit when, like, I'm low-key, like, right on stuff. We've had some really good shows recently. I think the Hoop Show was really good the other day. Like, we pretty much nailed those rotations and how the first two games of that series would play out. Tatum outscoring, Luka, that sort of thing, despite his best efforts at the end. I'm going to turn this down a little bit. But, yeah, I don't know. People don't like to give you a little credit, but the Taysom thing in weekly winners, it wasn't a bad thesis. It kind of almost worked out. It almost worked out. He definitely had some isolated spike weeks that very few other tight ends in that range can contend with. Really excited to get some of the data from Hayden on that stuff. Hayden sheds a single tear. Speaking of Hayden, sheds a single tear on Josh Jacobs falling to the 5th round. Wow. Let's see. He went 4th to G-Strat here, so it must be in the other draft. Jump over in a second here. All right, we flipped the board, so we went a little Galbrain, got a little crazy with it. Man, would it be insane to do Andrews, Lamar, and shut it down? Lamar goes there, takes away that option. George Pickens ADP is insane. Absolutely insane. Arizona, Rams, Carolina, New England. No correlation there. Let's take Andrews. Ray M. Ball. Ray's going to be bad. He's going to be big mad at us doing that, but it's all good. Cheese 24 Skull there, as mentioned in the chat previously. Josh Jacobs at 52 after going piss boy for the first 4 rounds, getting that Cincinnati stack. Man, that's a fun team. That is a fun team. Kyle Pitts with Bijan. I'm a little too elite tight end killed right now, but I like the correlation there. Give us some backdoor reasons to draft Cousins there. Christian Kirk goes there, double wide receiver for Chris. We could push up Worthy, hat tip to Davis in this one. Pickens feels bad. Keenan Allen feels okay, to be honest. Chicago, Seattle. Let's go ahead and take Keenan Allen. I don't take a ton of Keenan Allen. That being said, I've only done close to 50 drafts thus far. Yeah. Chris asking what the b-ball play tonight is. Tatum did dominate Luka 1.2 points. Hey, you said it yourself on Twitter today, Nick. These are razor thin margins we are dealing with. Although Luka was in the winning lineup, so that's pretty funny. Okay, let me think about the NBA one while we draft here. We're gonna be up again in a second. Bijan, Adams, Metcalf, Cup, Kyle Pitts. Leaving the light on for this to be a Kirk Cousins build, I guess. Feels like Rome would be nice for that week 17 with DK Metcalf. Crazy that Lad OTAs, Lad being the only guy in town right now, Lad pushing all the way up to the 64. We were thinking through closing line value between Big Board and BBM yesterday. How about Lad? I don't think Pete hit on just rookie wide receivers and stuff in general, but Lad and Zeke, two of the biggest risers between. Let's do the Rome thing. Rome at ADP feels fine. I have this take. I said it the other day that people are treating him as a contingent value play. They're treating him a tier below kind of thing. There's a chance that he is just the Jamar Chase of that offense, and he's not the Tyler Boyd of that offense where, they're waiting on Keenan Allen or DJ Moore to fall off a cliff for him to go nuke, man. He could go off in a big way. Pate, are there any good theses with weekly winners? I think we'll have a better feel on it when we get the data from Hayden. Hayden's doing a deep dive on the data, and then everybody's going to do a walkthrough. I think maybe we went a little too far, a little too extreme last year with some of the ones at the onesie stuff and some of the scroll the F down ceiling hunting and trying to get super contrarian for the sake of contrarian's sake. Maybe there's that. You do really just have to hit the nuts on a given week. But I do think there's a lot of division correlation or, building rosters that target early in the season and taking guys like Deonta Foreman and guys that we think will have a job at the beginning of the season and then not pairing them with rookies that are going to be late emergers. So pairing a Chris Godwin top of mind because he just went in this draft, but pairing Chris Godwin with Deonta Foreman feels better than pairing JSN with Vidal, just because of the weeks in which you were targeting. That is, if you were targeting early in the season versus late in the season. But there is a lot of noise, man. There's a lot of noise in weekly winners, and it's really hard to build. But I think as we get a little more data, as we think through the strategies, as we reverse engineer what worked last year, we can find our way there for sure. Because it's a very cool format. All right, I'm out on Lo-Fi Jazz. What's next? This one's called Old School. Kind of like me. Hand builder, bro. No HUD. Old school, all right. Okay. What can we do here? keep getting confused between the two teams in which we're on here. We could do a little double Minnesota thing if Chris lets it happen. We could do like Minnesota, or we could do Addison and then Aaron Jones on the other side of that. What's that ADP look like? He might let us have that. And that would set up, a little mini Minnesota thing. We could get Tyler Lockett on the way back, Dontavian Wicks later. We kind of forced our big game correlation early in this one. So I don't think we really need to force anything. I think Addison's got some good outs to being just being good at football. We ran super hot on touchdowns last year. But, okay, hold on. Now we got to think through this one on the fly. Rashee Rice. I don't think we need to do tight end. Let's do the Kyler thing. We talked about it yesterday. Where you could do Arizona quarterback with Rams wide receiver for week 17. Aaron Jones comes back in this one. He takes Godwin and Kittle, two targets I really like in that area there. We already had the Andrews. If we 2v2 that, let's see. Let's look at Chris. Obviously, Chris, good drafter, good player on the site. So he takes Amari in the 4th there. Oh, I guess it's 4th or 5th. Because he got the Christian Kirk turn there. So he uses the CMC anchor, and then he doubles down on the San Fran bet with Kittle, and then the Chris Godwin one there, where we took Andrews. We flipped the board. We did something funky here. But traditionally speaking, if you 2v2 that, like, Waddle and Andrews there versus, like, Godwin and I guess it'd be like Addison, or Ridley could find his way there sometimes. Man, getting that Kittle fall to the back end of the 7th makes it a way nicer 2v2 in my opinion, especially when you get the stack equity there. Okay, Kyler for a little week 17, a little divisional correlation with the Seattle stuff, even though they do not play in the last 3 weeks of the season. Could be time to start thinking about our next running back. It is that kind of like funky #dead zone unless you take Rice. What's KC got? KC's got Pittsburgh. KC's got Houston. You know what? Let's do it. Anchor Bijan. Rashee Rice. I mean, even if he gets suspended, we have 4 wide receivers that can carry us. I mean, he is going to get suspended. We have 4 wide receivers that can carry us. Not terrible. Okay, let's catch up on the chat now that we got a 10-pick break. Think we found the beat? This is the one? All right. Yeah, Greg Dortch has our little backdoor tack on. I like that. Jacob, Dog Bowl champ. Dog Bowl participant. He finished like 5th or 6th. Big shouts to Jacob, of course. But every weekly's winners draft, he goes 1 QB Cousins stack. Ideally 1 tight end with Pitts. That doesn't always work out. I mean, that's an alpha play. I respect the hell out of that. GA with some puck meta for us. Pedersen was playing on a bad knee since January. I mean, that checks out, man. He just did not look the same. His skating ability was not there. He was falling down randomly. I mean, everybody kind of talked about it, but didn't say it. Drew called slapped, though. F came down to Boston and Indy going to OT, though. Yeah, for sure. The OT is what got a lot of stuff home. That's, yeah. But, man, can we just talk about the end of that ball game for a second? The Hallie turnover, terrible. The Pascal Siakam turnover, awful. And then you don't foul on the inbound. And, I mean, it was a contested tough 3 for Jaylen Brown. But, like, I don't know. Oh, I almost got caught sleeping. There we go. Gotta make sure I switch that one out. Okay, so we got a little Minnesota thing going there. We're back up on the clock here. We got the Kyler. We could do the Trey Benson thing. Rashid Shaheed, George McCaffrey shared his exposures. Let's do the Rashid Shaheed. Rashid Shaheed as a Week 17 correlation with Devonta Adams. Jewish McCaffrey shared his exposures this morning through about 100 drafts, I think it was, something like that. He was pretty high on Rashid Shaheed. So, I mean, that that interests me when I see good players doing things. Oh, shit. See, I got caught with my pants down. Oh, no. Warren's fine, right? Was this the... Oh, this wasn't the Rice team. Okay, whatever. Warren's fine. Warren's fine. Nothing, directly correlated there. I mean, 16. Okay, fine. Here we go. Hang our hat on divisional correlation in Week 16. Mark Andrews, Jaylen Warren. There you go. You can always spin yourself a story into that being a good pick. GM to the NF42. Yeah, Nick's right. The inbound design to Siakam was so bad. That was just flat out bad play call. Feels like running back. Feels like Tony redacted. I mean, so on brand. We could do the Caleb thing and stack it with Keenan Allen. Let's do redacted. For the bid equity. We only got 3 bullets in this contest. May as well get. Yeah, both these planes, if they haven't crashed yet, they are about to crash, man. The double draft with no draft caddy. Yeah, we might crash some planes here, but... All right. Tyler feels like a Geno team, right? They don't have the same bye. Geno gives us a little Pittsburgh stuff. What do we got here? Time for our second running back, right? I think we got to go on a little bit of a running back. We might have missed the window for running back run. Cincinnati, Tennessee, Cleveland, Washington gets the Atlanta run back. There we go. All right, Brian Robinson, Atlanta run back off of the Bijan plus Kyle Pitts, Week 17. Things are just falling into place now. All the haters want to see me crash these planes. These things are gonna be landed smooth. All right, let's do a little recap because we're bouncing back and forth. 1-3-4-1 on the flip the board team, where we started with CeeDee Lamb, Jalen Hurts, Aaron Jones, Jaylen Warren, Tony redacted, CeeDee Lamb, Devonta Smith, Keenan Allen, Jordan Addison, Mark Andrews. Not bad so far. Not bad so far. Other team, 1-2-6-1. So we're going full piss boy in both these rooms. Tyler, Bijan, Brian Robinson Jr., Devonta Adams, DK Metcalf, Cooper Kupp, Roma Doomsday, Rashee Rice, Rashid Shaheed, and Kyle Pitts. This feels all right. This feels all right. Lockett's already on in this one, right? Making this a Seattle team would have felt fun. D-Rob's a solid RB2. I feel the same. Yeah, Robinson to Robinson correlation. People aren't thinking outside the box like that. The Robinson to Robinson correlation smacks. There we go. Okay. All right, do me a favor, guys. We still got 60 of us. I know some of you guys are going to be bouncing back between Ship Chasing and I now that they have just started. Do me a favor, hit that like, that subscribe, that notification. We got tons more stuff coming all summer long. This feels like Rico. Rico or Downs? Rico. We could do Sharps for a little bit of correlation with the Seattle stuff. Just make a concerted Seattle bet. Let's do it. What's Dallas got? Dallas has got Carolina, Tampa Bay, Philly in the playoffs with a week 7 bye. That doesn't correlate with anything we're doing. We make a concentrated bet on Seattle that Sharps and DK are some of the guys you need. We could do a little Chicago thing late with them potentially. Doesn't feel great. Doesn't feel awful. All right. Yeah, do me a favor. Smash that like. Top stat NFT popping by to say he was the Pug champion from last year. Big shouts. That earns you some good street cred around here. Big shouts on that. I mean, I love these time box contests. I love the 3 max. I love just like the ability to have multiple champions throughout the site. I think it's a really cool thing. I love that someone can call themselves Puppy 1 through 5 champ. I love the fact that you can call yourself. I think in the future we should have a champions only bowl. You want to talk about some of the stuff that Bindles and Nez were talking about yesterday with like future of best ball and that sort of stuff, incorporating live finals, incorporating champion only stuff, incorporating site pros, team pros, stuff like that. Man, there is a lot of fun stuff that you can do. Kind of thin at running back here. Jones, Warren, Pollard feels like a nice spot to take. I don't know. Shaheed or Chase Brown? Damn, we're on the clock in both spots. Let's take Shaheed because there's fallback running back options there. Rico comes back to us. I think we take Rico. I really learned from our BBM yesterday that I really hate the back end zeros that you can take at the running back position. Like just flat zeros available late. So even when we do like this anchor Bijan thing, I think I still want to have like 5 and shut it down. All right, Trevor Lawrence and Gabe Davis stack goes right there. Almost did the Justin Herbert to Keenan Allen stack. Austin Eckler or Chase Brown feels like Chase Brown to me. I'm kind of drinking that Kool-Aid that Pete was selling the other day on Chase Brown being one of his highest exposed players thus far. Yeah, Brad, like this stuff, like Team BadgeBros or something like that, like just having like little pockets of communities represented on the platform, how you merge the kind of like streaming culture and the culture of play style on there. I really love the idea of like the interface being interactive too. Like the being able to, you know, fling a rocket at so-and-so who sniped your stack or, you know, just that sort of thing. Maybe not text chat because it can get toxic, but just emoji-based chat or whatever. Okay, so this is the Atlanta one thus far. I think we got to start... Ooh, I think Cousins is already gone on this team. Cousins already went to the London drafter on the other side. Okay, that's fine. We're going to have to pivot off of the Cousins idea. What can we do? Rams have Arizona. I don't want to have same quarterbacks. One of our old principles, don't want to stack the same quarterbacks from the same game on week 17. Want to stack pieces of it. Don't want to stack the quarterbacks. I'm going to kind of like mentally strike Stafford from the record right now. We could go back to the well with the fall plan all the time of Geno, DK, take Noah Fant as our tight end, make a little skinny stack there. We do have a run back with Roma Doomsday for the week 17 correlation. That might have to be the plan. That might be the plan. All right. We're 3 picks away. Pretty solid wide receiver rooms in both here. I think it's going to be a 7 wide receiver build. Feels like a 7 wide receiver build. Quarterbacks just fall everywhere, man. Wild. And I mean rightfully so to an extent. The Darnell Mooney gives us another Atlanta thing, but it feels bad without Cousins to go for a third piece. We might do a little scroll here. I did say on yesterday's show that there's some ambiguous situations that I want to get ahead on based on some of the coach speak stuff. And I think Jaleel McLaughlin is one of those. I think he's one of them. I think he has a legit chance to win that backfield. I think they like him. Indy, Chargers, and Bengals. We have none of the above. Is Burton still on the board? Burton's gone. Burton keeps rising too. Yeah, here you go. Talked about it in the chat. There you go. Jermaine Burton going at 145. What happened to the game I love? Oh, man. Crazy. Let's get toxic. Have some words for JPB. I love that. Oh, man. Benjamin suggesting 31% Chase Brown through 75 drafts. Respect the hell out of that. Respect the hell out of that. Feels good. Yeah, James wants a Pounders community. Absolutely. I mean, it's nice about this space too, though. Like, there's no hostility. There's no toxicity. Like, you know, we have little pockets of, you know, obviously we're directly affiliated with like Pete and Underdog and that sort of stuff. But it's super nice to have like these multitude of communities that all interact with one another. Like, you know, Neil Orfield and stuff, and I've done stuff before. You know, the ship chasing guys, the ETR guys, the Pounder stuff. We met him in person at the Dog Bowl. Like, just so fun to be able to like just all share these communities. We got to get some more Spike Week stuff going. That's for sure. I think there might be a little something coming in the future here. Sixth running back and shut it down? Or do we take Geno and Noah Fant now? Do Geno, do Fant on the way back? Is it too early for that? Let's do this. Let's do this first. Everyone to my right has quarterbacks outside of Turbo. To my left. Turbo's only got one. Shoot, we're up in the other draft here. We could double down on the Dallas bring back stuff off of Philadelphia and take Rico. Feels good. How many running backs do we got to the right here? Only two? All right, let's take Rico. Chris only got two running backs. I think the Rico correlation feels important when we jump the shark on the early side of the left side of the board stack there. I don't want to make this like not a monster game stack, but definitely the focal point of our build. He takes downs, which is unfortunate. I really thought Ricky Purcell would fit his build nicely, but I don't think he ended up getting... Yeah, no, he did have Purdy. So yeah, I thought he would triple down. I wanted downs, just like as a 1v1. Fuck it. Let's take Burton. Pairs with Chase Brown. There a little bit. Make a concerted bet on that team. Leaves the light on for a Denver bring back. Who, you know who I'm thinking of already. Don't tell everybody. But leaves the light on for a little week 17 correlation. Wow, did not realize, just not paying attention to like looking at the board view and jumping back and forth between the two. Did not realize that we just took 5 straight running backs. 5 straight running backs round 10 through 14. I think it's entirely fair to just shut that one down. Well, I mean, I was going to shut it down anyways, but just in terms of like looking at the board like that, it's kind of funny the way it looks. Where is, let's see where the Lockett drafter is. Lockett 101 there, already has 2 quarterbacks. That's cool. All right. I think I know my next 3 picks on this team. It's going to be Gino here. You might be able to push it around the corner. But Gino, Fant. I mean, maybe you should take Fant first. Let's see. Two tight ends, 3 tight ends, 2 tight ends. No, we didn't need to take Fant first. We're good. Okay. Yeah, this would be like Gino and Fant, I think. And then an Arizona wide receiver, either Zay or Greg Dortch, something like that. Will feel good. Pearsall's still on the board there. He likes her too, right? Yeah. All right. This feels good. Feeling the background music, NF? I respect it. Feels good. Meatwad said he crashed the plane. What draft was that, Meatwad? Let's see. I think it was this one, was it not? What's your screen name? Because it's not Meatwad. This is interesting. I remember seeing this screen name. What do you say? I don't know. I think it's a guy's last name. Afruya, mate. Afru. I don't know. I'm gonna sound like an idiot. All right. Noah Fant comes back to us. Completes that little Seattle stack. This wasn't the Warren team, but we're loaded up on Seattle now with 4 pieces there. We could find ourselves to Roman Wilson. I think if you do Roman Wilson and Greg Dortch or Roman Wilson and Zay Jones, you land the plane nicely with this team. Maybe a 3rd tight end plays better than an 8th wide receiver, but our running back room is really solid. I don't think we need to add another running back, right? We have 2 Chicago pieces, do we not? 2 Chicago pieces on the bring back. I was thinking about a little bring back off of the KC there. Is the Roman Wilson. I mean, that might not even be necessary. It's just a little gal brainy. Jaleel McLaughlin goes on the other side of that board ahead of ADP, so our plan is foiled there. Only Mark Andrews at tight end. We could go ahead and add Juwan Johnson to this team and tack on Derek Carr and make a little stack of New Orleans, though we do not have any Vegas pieces yet. So good or bad, neither here nor there. Cincinnati, we have the 2 pieces in Burton and Chase. We could add the Marvin Mims bring back. Opens the door for a Bo Nix as our last quarterback. Let's do that. Let's do Marvin Mims. Then we'll do Juwan Johnson. And that gives us an out. Juwan Johnson, different bye week than Mark Andrews. That gives us 2 outs at quarterback there. And maybe we take both. I don't like taking both when we pushed Hurts up so high. Like, we pushed Hurts 12 picks above ADP or 11 picks above ADP. You really want to make it just a 2 QB team. So, but now we got outs. This can be a Derek Carr team or this can be a Bo Nix team. It probably feels better with the... Oh, shit, we're back up. What was our plan? Noah Fant. Holmes gone. Khalif Raymond. We got no San Fran. But might just be fun. Dortch, right? Oh, shit. Spelled it wrong. No! Oh! We were doing so well. We were doing so well, and we got foiled by the board. Oh, no. Oh, no. Now we end up with Derek Carr on both teams, and we definitely did not need him on maybe either team. All right. Okay. Spin zone. He stacks with Rashid Shaheed. He stacks with Shaheed. We got this. I told you guys it was going to happen at least once, that I would end up with the board open on the other side, and then it doesn't get there. Oh, man. Oh, okay. So Meatwad is turbo. Okay, this all is coming full circle. This makes sense. Okay. Apologies, my friend. Okay. Here's our last pick. We can't go tight end now because we got the Derek Carr pick, which is just awful. Greg Dortch is still there. Is Zay Jones still there? Zay Jones is gone. Greg Dortch has the stack. Plays off of our Cooper Cup Week 17, and it's better than having Naked Kyler. Damn it. This team would have looked a lot better. Greg Dortch in the last round, and then Khalif Raymond here, or I'm sure we could have found a better pick than Khalif Raymond here, but just damn it. That was really unfortunate. But hey, at least it was a skinny stack, and at least it plays. Damn, no, Atlanta doesn't have New Orleans in the last 3 weeks. Shit. Would have been a better pick in weekly winners. Oh, man. Well, that's unfortunate. We crashed the plane. But a 3-6-7-2 that we can spin zone into a story. Let's make sure we don't miss the pick on the other side. All right. Kyler, Geno. Oh, it's gone now. Okay. 3-6-7-2. Kyler, Geno, Derek Carr, Bijan Robinson, Brian Robinson, Zach Charbonnet, Rico Dowell, Jaleel McLaughlin, Khalil Herbert, Adams, Metcalf, Cup, Odunze, Rice, Shaheed, Dort, Kyle Pitts, Noah Fant. This team is probably slightly better. Obviously, the Carr pick is just so bad, but it was an auto. But it's so much better with a third tight end and or bring back wide receiver, like we said, Roman Wilson off of the Rice thing, or even another Rams wide receiver, or potentially taking Zay Jones and Greg Dortch makes it feel better. Okay. Anyways. Okay, we are up on this next one, and we are going to voluntarily this time, we're going to voluntarily take Derek Carr. We set up the double stack here with Rashid Shaheed and Juwan Johnson. Again, no Vegas bring back here, but yeah, we'll take him. We could push this around the corner because Chris is obviously not going to take a third quarterback, but what do we gain? Okay, so we did the Philly bet. We did the Dallas bet. I'm saving a pick for the last round in my mind. Running back room of Aaron Jones, Jalen Warren, Tony Pollard, Chase Brown, Rico Dowdle. I think we need one more running back on this team. I mean, it's fine. It's fine. What if we add Shipley? Add Will Shipley to the super bet we have made on week 17 with Philly and Dallas. I was leaving the light on for our last pick to be Johnny what the fuck? The kid from Florida, Johnny Wilson? Yeah, Johnny Wilson. And I was just like, we could do this contingent upside breakout Eagles player as part of the stack to make it a double stack that people don't get to. But I guess we could spin the same narrative with Will Shipley there. The question becomes, what do we do with the last pick? 2-6-7-2, premium quarterback, premium tight end. A flip the board stack in the first round. Probably done at running back with 6 there. All right. All right. What if 0 tight end points in week 14 is what you need? I mean, if there's one position to double stack bye weeks and punt at, it's definitely tight end. But week 14, when you're scrolling through your teams and you're seeing, do I have a sweat to make the playoffs with one of these teams? And you see that you're going to be taking a goose egg. I mean, that one's going to sting when you're sweating in week 14 and you're 32 points behind the leader of your pod going into, or an advancement spot in your pod, and you're going into the final 4 games of the slate, and you go, well, who do I have on this roster at tight end? Shit, never mind. Jalen Hurts, Derek Carr. Man, okay, let's talk about this for a second. Like, the Eagles have an embarrassment of riches, right? And everybody's making like these high-end stacks with the Eagles, and then nobody's adding like the auxiliary components. Like, we definitely had games last year. Not saying that it's possible, but we definitely had games last year where like Julio Jones scored multiple touchdowns, or Quez Watkins finds his way to like 480-1. Just with like the amount of like reps and how fast this team's gonna play, and how big of a shootout week 17 could be, it just feels like you want to maybe start getting to these guys. And then like Devonta Parker, we didn't talk about it the other day, but he retired. So now all of a sudden, like these rotational wide receiver spots for Johnny Wilson, who was a guy that like Hayden really liked, and they think he's like super athletic, gonna convert in quotations to wide receiver. And like he was talking about him as like a field stretcher and big vertical guy. He had drop issues in college. And then Anais Smith was the guy who we were touting because he was the bench reps leader. And I mean, everybody knows that the most important metric at the combine for a wide receiver is the bench press. So yeah, there you go. No chance. Is this real life? Ghost AF saying they just signed John Ross. There's no way that's real life. Attempting NFL comeback 25 days ago. He's set to participate in rookie mini camps with the Eagles on a tryout basis after announcing his retirement last year. Good UW boy, John Ross, making a comeback. Former top 10 pick. Holy, that is cool. That's cool, man. I'm rooting for that. The guy got a raw deal. He got a raw deal. Oh, man. That is great. Yeah. Good UW boy, baby. Yeah. Problem is, WR3 is wide open for the Eagles. There you go, right? Like, that's why. Just take shots on it, right? Like, it's such a high contingent upside position to be a part of. Why aren't we just taking shots on it in the last round, especially when we've talked about liking the profile of those guys so far, right? Yeah, I gotta take them now. You want to solidify yourself a 0 in the last round. When people were debating like Justin Ross last year, I mean, this year's Justin Ross could very well be John Ross, where we just fight about who's going to be the Eagles WR3, just like we were fighting about who's going to be the Chiefs WR3/4, and then none of them end up mattering. Yeah, this screen name looks so familiar. And I swear it's a dude's last name, and I swear he was a badged up player in the past who was like having success. Just that's strange to me. I'm gonna ask about that one. I think we're done at tight end with the Mark Andrews and Jonnu Smith here. We could do the Philly thing, as I alluded to. It might be just tacking on a 0, but it could be fine. I think we're done at running back with the 6. All right. Wide receiver it is. Jalen Hyatt, Darius Slayton feels safe. Jalen McMillan, a good UW boy. Does he have any correlation? Tampa Bay. They play Dallas in week 16. We have the double Dallas bet. I know this is like a bad cop-out to not scroll. I have to be better. I should scroll further than this. But this one fits nicely. I mean, I guess we can always tell ourselves a story. But Jalen McMillan is one of our guys. He is a good UW boy. and we do have week 16 correlation with the Dallas stuff. We're going to need Dallas to perform to get us through, to get to that Philly-Dallas matchup in the finals there. All 3 of the $12 pugs are now in the book. The last one was more traditional 2-6-8-2, where we voluntarily took Derek Carr instead of just getting tossed to him on auto draft by accident. Jalen Hurts, we flipped the board. Derek Carr, Aaron Gordon, Jalen Warren, Tony Redacted, Chase Brown, Rico Dowdle, Will Shipley, CeeDee Lamb, Devonta Smith, Keenan Allen, Jordan Addison, Rashid Shaheed, Jermaine Burton, Marvin Mims, Jalen McMillan, Mark Andrews, and Jawan Johnson. All in all, feels nicer than the other team. Don't love it. Don't hate it. It was definitely an experimental thing with the flipping of the board. I do think that like Devonta Smith and Jalen Hurts ADPs start pushing up in that direction. Not something I would do in the BBM right now, because I think we can leave the light on to do that later in the draft window season. We don't have to get this creative this early, but like think of all the leverage you could get right now. I know he's referring to John Ross, but think of all the leverage we created in a time box contest by pushing up Jalen Hurts and Devonta Smith. Did we miss on a little bit of potential value? Maybe, but if we just look at the draft board from that one, like if anyone told you that Devonta Smith outscored, maybe Devontae Adams is a bad pass. Maybe that one's a bad one. But if anyone was just going to 1v1 Devonta Smith versus Jalen Warren versus Stephon Diggs versus DJ Moore versus Malik Neighbors, who normally goes in that range, we saw him get a really big fall in this one down to 35 there. But if anyone told you that like Devonta Smith scores more fantasy points this year than all of those guys, would you be surprised? Absolutely not. Will he project as well? Probably not. But we were taking this guy in the second round last year. The offense has only gotten better outside of the offensive line. I mean, if we just flip the board and do this in a time box contest, can't be that bad. In BBM, might be that bad. But yeah. Anyways, fun shit. Appreciate everybody joining. Do me a favor, hit that like, that notification, that subscribe on your way out the door. We come back Monday to Friday, usually between 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. Eastern as a start time there. We do the drafts with Pete on every Wednesday. We will be back tomorrow, probably 1 p.m. Eastern. I got to go get some food in me. It is almost 2:30. It's almost my time. Okay, I got to go play. Let me double check the schedule here. I guess I don't have to do this on stream. But 17:30. Okay. Yeah, I'm working in 2 different time zones and working in 24-hour clocks and stuff like this. All right. Smash that like button. Thank you, Meatwad. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Back tomorrow. Everybody's favorite time of the show. Go enjoy ship chasing. The end. Peace.